Hello and welcome to the big Blackwater build. This is a build I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I wanted to make quite a natural Amazonian scape, but I do want to keep it a planted tank. So what I'm doing first of all is in this section of the aquarium is where I will have most of the planting. So I've popped some NutriBase on the floor, and then I have added some bags of aqua soil on top, which help to give a little bit of a height towards this left hand side of the tank. This is old aqua soil, so the NutriBase beneath will give it a bit of a boost. And then I'm going to pop in a layer of gravel, which will just help with the sand on top so that it's not too thick. So again, just raising up this section so that we can have a nice sloped area from the left down to the right. Now I'm going for black sand in this build. As you might be able to tell from the background, this aquarium is in a very brightly lit area of our home with a conservatory behind it. So we have had algae problems in the past, and there are three things that I've done for this build which I hope to be able to mitigate that. One is pop on the backing that you can see there. The slightly opaque back will just help block some of the sunlight coming through. The second is the black sand, so that it's not pale enough to reflect the light in the aquarium. And the third is actually making it a Blackwater, so that there are a little bit more in the water, and therefore everything's going to be a little bit darker with the tannins, and that again should help with any of the sunlight coming through. So while it is also a natural scape for the kind of fish that I want to put in here, the vast majority of these choices have been made to help produce algae. We've got some nice bits of bogwood here. These are quite large pieces, they're quite new. I actually placed them in the aquarium as a dry fit prior, so you will see that I'm kind of quite easily placing those in and using just some grey Cereostone to just help provide a bit of interest against the black sand and also provide some contact points for gluing the wood on. So this piece of wood, despite having dry fit and knowing exactly where I wanted it, did not seem to go in exactly the same place that I put it, despite also using reference photos. So that one took a little while longer, but you've just got to have a play until you're happy. I did pop in a rock behind that and glue it so that it would hold it upright. So you can see me there using some cyanoacrylate super glue and some activator spray. This cyanoacrylate glue basically dries like plastic, so becomes inert in the water. This is a gel form, so you've seen me previously use the super glue and tissue method to create some contact points. But this is the gel form, so you don't need to do that, but the activator helps it set because it takes a little longer to dry. So that's it for hardscape. Now for plants, we've got some new plants in here. I wanted to try and find some plants that would be easy, which usually means that they don't need too much light or too much nutrients. So we've got the Hygrophila there, we've got the Limnophila sicilliflora, we've got some Bolbitis, which is one of my favourite plants. Looks very ferny in the scapes, so when that focuses you will see that there. There we go. And we have also got a plant here which I have no idea what it's called, but it looks quite nice with its big flat leaves. I think it's some kind of pennywort. We are also doing some emergent plants in this build. So this is a peace lily. I've done a video before where I show you how to clean the roots off. You just need to get all the soil off. And I'm using some garden wire here wrapped around the base of the stem and curled into a hook to just hook it over the top edge of the tank to keep that there. You will also see as I'm planting here that I will be popping in some old plants from the previous build. What I'm trying to do here is place some of the plants that need a little bit more light out from underneath the wood, because the wood will block some of the light for them. So there'll be some nice planting in the back section there to fill in the negative space, as well as a little bit of planting in that front corner. And then everything else you can see here is Cryptocoryne, various species, and some Schismatoglottis, all of which do quite well with lower light environments, so they can be tucked quite close to the wood. We've also got, I believe, some Sagittaria here from the previous build, which I've just kind of brought out a little bit more into the open at the front of the tank. And the Schismatoglottis, as you will see there, can be put both in the substrate and can be used as an epiphyte, as well as some kind of bigger areas of some Anubias that's grown really well in the old build. These can either be wedged into gaps in the wood or stuck to the wood, so just popping some of those in various points to bring out some more greens against the brown of the bogwood there. These will take nutrients from the water column, same as the Bolbitis, which I did put a tuff there and then completely changed my mind and decided that I wanted to use it for the negative space down there. But the glue will allow us to stick some of the Anubias on there. So now to fill it up, obviously takes a little while to do so. So the end of the day was how I left this and brought the aquarium up to temperature overnight, ready for a bit more work the following day. So the following day I took some water out the tank. As I've mentioned before, I like to put some of the old aquarium water back in. So firstly, I'm going to pop in some botanicals. So we've got some seed buds here and some leaves that will just go in here. These are a mix of catappa and almond leaves, and this will help with the Blackwater environment, and the fish will actually do very well in tannin waters. It will make the water quite soft, relatively acidic compared to a neutral pH. But like I said, the fish that I intend to go in here will be coming from that kind of environment in the wild. Now, you'll see me there, I've just popped in a little bit of the water from the boiling of the leaves in, and this is the water that is actually from the tub that I was storing the fish in, because we are going to be putting some of the fish that I previously had in this tank back in here. Now, what I will say, just while you're watching me do this, is that I had a significant bacterial bloom in this aquarium, which I will talk through in a minute for you, for anybody who also sees this problem. So the fish that we're putting back in this aquarium, I've got some Siamese flying foxes, some algae eaters there, and some Armano shrimp. I've also got a pair of plecos, and there is a trio there of loaches. These are Burmese tiger sand loaches. So because they are in pairs and trios, they shouldn't bother the fish that I'm popping in here too much, but you do have to be quite cautious if they are not in groups in the tank, so that they don't bother the other fish that are going in here. Now, with the bacterial bloom, this is obviously a tank that produces a huge amount of tannins from the bogwood and the material that I've put in here. That does reduce the oxygen in the water, and obviously I did do a top up of beneficial bacteria. So while it looks very nice, as you can see here at the moment, I actually came down the next day to find the entire tank very white and very foggy, and I also found the fish gasping. You could tell there was a problem because you could see the plecos. They were not comfortably hiding away like they normally do, and the loaches in particular were really good indicators. They went very pale white, similar to what they are here. Yeah, they're the stress coloration. In this video they're stressed because they've obviously just been transferred between aquariums, But yes, they were very pale and they were all gasping. So I immediately did a 50% water change. I drained the tank down to a good halfway and did a water top up. And what you will notice in some of the video coming up is I also put in an air stone, which I had lying around to just get some oxygen back into the water and just to get everything moving again. We were very, very lucky, and you can see the air stone in. This is actually the following day, just doing another water change to just give it another bit of a chance. Almost as soon as I did the water change and I put the air stone in there, all of the fish coloured up again, they stopped gasping, and I was very lucky because we lost a couple of shrimp and we didn't lose any of the fish that we put in here. But you have to react very quickly to a situation like that. It's a very stressful event. It can feel like a bit of a disaster. But like I said, water change, the air helps, and actually the one other thing that we did for this tank which does help increase the oxygen in the water is we just turn the temperature down by 1.5 degrees just to bring that down slightly. So anyway, now we can start putting in some fish that I wanted in here. Now these are two different types of bloodfin tetra. We've got the Rathbun's bloodfin on this side here, and we have got some glass bloodfins over here. So as I've said previously, this particular shop that I go to, I am very comfortable with the way that they treat their fish and their water quality, so I was comfortable popping the water in the aquarium. I wouldn't recommend this for any shop where you just don't know their water parameters. I've been using this one in particular for 4 years and I've never had any problem with this, but I do not put in the water from the shop for any other shop that I buy fish from, just because I don't know what we're putting into the aquarium here. So these have been acclimatised over the space of an hour, just a little bit of the aquarium water every 10 minutes, and you can see they're already starting to colour up. And this is a bit of a video just after they've gone in. You can see the glass ones, they have just the red tail and the see-through bodies, and the Rathbuns have got a greeny hint on the top of their body with the nice red section below. So they're very similar, which makes it nice, makes it look like a big school, but you will notice differences between them, which I think will provide some interest in the aquarium. And this is the main event. Now apologies, I forgot to actually record popping these in the tank, so this is a bit of a sudden surprise. These are some marble angelfish. So when I wanted to redo this tank, one of the things that I really wanted to do was to get some angelfish, and as I mentioned previously, because of all the algae problems we had in this aquarium, I thought that actually it would be the perfect opportunity to make it into a Blackwater. These fish in the wild are found in more Blackwater environments, so it works quite nicely. We've obviously got a little bit more planting in here than we would normally do, but I do quite like having plants in an aquarium, and I think it gives a really natural look, even if it doesn't match a biotope style aquarium. So these guys are babies. They are only about 1.5 inches in size. So we got 8 of them to begin with. As they grow up, they may start to pair off, and they may start to get a bit territorial. So if that's the case, thankfully we can take them back to the shop. We can reduce down the numbers and make sure that we keep a safe number in the aquarium, particularly because they do grow quite big, basically to about the size of a hand when they're fully grown. But while these are babies, they'll take a little while to kind of grow up into their full size, so I'm comfortable having this number in. We also got a little bit of a top up to the bloodfin schools. So this is 4 weeks on, so they've obviously had a good time to settle. This is maybe a few days after we got the angels, so all of the schooling fish had a nice time to settle in before we popped in the angels, which can be a bit more territorial. But everybody seems to be doing really well. We've had 0 problems, we've had 0 deaths, and it's just a really lovely tank to watch. So I'm going to be quiet now. I'm going to let you watch the rest of this video with just a bit of footage of the critters in this aquarium. And I'd like to say, as always, thank you very much for watching. Please do like and subscribe, and I'll see you again next time.